Today we're going to be learning about triangles. There are going to be 3 different types of triangles that we are going to be learning about today. Before we start talking about the different types of triangles, we are going to review the 3 different types of angles that we learned about 2 days ago. The first type of angle is called a right angle. This angle is a right angle because I can take this red square and it will fit directly, perfectly in that angle. That angle, a right angle, is 90 degrees. You can fit a square perfectly in that angle. This next angle here is less than a right angle. So this angle is smaller than a right angle. Our third angle is greater than a right angle because this angle is bigger than a right angle. Let's start talking about some triangles. So they would like us to measure the sides of each pair of triangles. We are not going to measure on this video, so I'm just going to show you the lengths. So triangle A, you'll notice that all sides are the same length. Each side of triangle A is 1 inch. For triangle B, you will notice that all 3 sides are the same length too. So each side of the triangle is 1 1/4 inches long. For triangle C and triangle D, we are going to do the same thing. So for triangle C, you will notice that 2 of the sides are the same length. So 2 sides are 1 inch, but this bottom side of the triangle is 1 1/2 inches long. But then look at triangle D. I notice that all sides are different lengths. So this side is 1 inch, this side is 2 inches, and this side is 2 1/4 inches long. So they would like us, excuse me, to look at the 4 different triangles that we just talked about and answer questions 1, 2, and 3. So for number 1, it says they want us to identify which triangle has no sides that are the same length. So remember, we talked about how triangles A and triangle B all have the same length. So now let's look at triangle C and triangle D. Triangle C has 2 sides that are both 1 inch long, so that won't work. But triangle D, each side of that triangle is a different length. So we have this side is 1 inch long. This long side here is 2 1/4 inches long. And then this bottom side is 2 inches long. So what triangle has no side lengths that are the same? The answer would be triangle D. Now for number 2, which 2 triangles have all 3 side lengths the same? See if you can figure it out. Look at all 4 triangles. If you said A and B, then you're correct. Triangle A, each side is the same. Each side is 1 inch long. And then for triangle B, each side is also the same because each side is 1 1/4 inches long. Number 3, which triangle has exactly 2 side lengths that are the same? See if you can figure it out. If you said triangle C, then you are correct. So the 2 side lengths that are the same in triangle C are these 2. They're both 1 inch long. But then this bottom side is a little bit longer. This bottom side is 1 1/2 inches long. Compare the angles of each triangle below. Which triangle, is a right triangle? So which one of these triangles has an angle where you can fit a perfect square into it? Well, I noticed that triangle A, you can fit a perfect square into. And it doesn't look like you can fit a square into any of these other angles. right? Triangle C looks a little bit close. Let's test it out. We're going to take this square here, and I'm going to put it first right here. So this angle, since the blue line of the angle goes this way, kind of cuts into the square, that means that that angle is less than, less than a right angle. Let's try this angle. Geez, it won't let me grab it. And this angle is just a little bit smaller than a right angle, but it is pretty darn close. It's still not a right angle. So that means that triangle A is the triangle that is a right triangle because it has a right angle in it. Let's look at this pyramid. We needed to figure out if all angles are greater than a right angle, all angles are less than a right angle, or one angle is a right angle. We're going to use this square to figure it out. So this one is less than a right angle because the line for the triangle goes this way. So that's less than a right angle. Let's look over here. This looks similar or the same. This also is less than a right angle because the line for the triangle goes like this. Let's look at our third angle. So I'm going to turn my square. If you were using a piece of paper, you would turn it around a little bit. And this also is less than a right angle because you will notice that this line of the triangle is smaller or less than the right angle. It kind of cuts into the square a little bit. So that means that our answer is that all angles are less than a right angle. They want us to figure out how many sides are of equal length. Before we measure and look at the measurements, taking a look at it, what do you think? Do you think 1, 2, or 3 sides are of equal length? And I guess it can't be one side because then it wouldn't be equal with anything. So do you think 2 sides are equal or all 3 sides are equal length? Let's find out. These 2 sides are 1 1/4 inches long. And this bottom side is only 1 inch. So only 2 sides have equal length. Now let's draw a right triangle. Remember that when I'm drawing a right angle, it looks like this. Right? Because with that right angle, I am able to fit this square perfectly into the angle. Do you guys see that? So now to make it a triangle, a right triangle, I'm just going to simply draw my third side. So now I've created a right triangle. Now it wants us to draw one that is not a right triangle. So to do that, I am first going to draw my base line for my triangle, and then I'm going to make the line that goes, it can be anywhere, as long as it's not like this, it can be any of these degrees. I'm going to make mine go like this. And then I need to draw my third one, so I just need to connect those 2 lines so it looks like that. That triangle is not a right triangle because I cannot fit a square in the corner of it. All right, we're almost done here. So let's see what the measurement of these sides are. So 2 sides are the same length. 2 sides are 3/4 inch. One side is only 1 inch long. But for this one, all sides are different. So 0 sides are equal. One is a 1/2 inch, this is 1 inch, and then this side is 1 1/4 inches long. All right, so compare the angles of each triangle. Then circle the correct description. So for triangle number 3, it says 3 angles are less than a right angle, or there is one right angle. So let's get out our square. Again, if you had a piece of paper and you're doing this on your own, you would use a piece of paper or a note card. So this one is less than, because the angle kind of cuts into our square. This angle is also less than. Let's try out this other one. Well, let me grab it. There you go. This angle is also less than. So that means that the correct description would be that 3 angles are less than a right angle. Let's look at number 4. Our options are 3 angles are greater than a right angle, or 1 angle is greater than a right angle. So I have my square here, trying to get it kind of as close to the corner as I can. So I notice that this angle, this blue line here, is going past the square. So that means that this angle is greater than. Now let's try out these other two. Here you go. So this one cuts into the square. So this angle is less than a right angle. And then this angle is also less than a right angle. So then the answer is 1 angle is greater than a right angle. All right, last one. How many angles are less than a right angle in the triangle shown at the right? Well, right away I can tell that this angle here is a right angle because I can see the red square in it. So we really need to just look at these last 2 angles. I'm going to make my square. You'll grab a piece of paper or a note card, and let's hold it up here. Oopsie. Need a square. There we go. So this angle is less than, and then this angle is also less than. So how many angles are less than a right angle? 2. There's a third one is a right angle. Hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, please ask me for help. Good luck.